Hallo, heute geht es weiter mit Starfield Live Gameplay. Es wird sicherlich sehr spannend, denn wir spielen Nebenmissionen und ich habe mir extra was rausgesucht, was vielleicht ganz interessant ist. Ich war also hier am Erkunden und habe dann festgestellt, dass hier ein mysteriöses Raumschiff hängt und dann wurden wir kontaktiert und sollen jetzt jemanden treffen. Und da dieses Raumschiff mal nicht komplett generisch aussieht und eigentlich ein ganz nices Design hat, habe ich mir gedacht, gut, vielleicht ist das ja was, wo die sich ein bisschen Mühe gegeben haben bei Bethesda an Nebenmissions-Content. Also werden wir das hier jetzt spielen und uns angucken, was es damit auf sich hat. Und da der Map-Marker da unten ist, würde ich behaupten, wir müssen da unten hin. Und dann gucken wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Wäre ja schön, wenn jetzt mal guter Content käme, damit ich nicht immer nur auf dem Game rumhacken kann. Man darf gespannt sein. Sieht aus wie ein Hotel oder ein Casino oder sowas.
Bethesda security is only here for your safety. Pretend we're not even here.
Ein sehr vertrauenswürdiger Mann, oder? Ganz dickes Employees-Only-Schild. Gehen wir einfach mal rein, ne? Juckt ihn nicht. Ein vorbildlicher Arbeiter. Aber hier ist ja auch der, den wir treffen sollen.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso group pays top dollar for top-notch security. And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems. Honestly, it's not as exciting as you might think most of the time. More often than not, we're just handling drunk and disorderly conduct. Heck, even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually vacation here. As long as they're not bothering anyone, we've been told not to worry about them. Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so?
Das ist ja richtig geheimniskrämerisch hier. Tja, was wollen wir da machen? Gucken wir mal, was das Aufmüpfige so mit sich bringt, ja?
You're right. We're not. Which means we're not bound by anyone's laws but our own. In other words, it's our system and our rules. Neither the UC nor the Freestar Collective will help you if you get into trouble here.
Weder die UC noch die Freestar Collective können euch helfen, wenn ihr Trouble mit mir habt. So rum sollte man das sagen.
Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. It bears no discernible markings or allegiances to any manufacturers we're aware of. I'm hoping that doesn't mean we're dealing with some sort of new deep space threat.
Also offensichtlich ist es schon mal nicht deren Schiff.
Can't say for sure. Looks worn, but not cobbled together like a Crimson Fleet junker. Others have been saying it's some new Varun design, a gigantic battleship with hidden armaments preparing for assault. But but that doesn't check out either. There's also been talk about non-human sentient life. The comms data we received might support that, but humanity's spread far and wide and no one's ever encountered anything like that. Still, first contact. Could you imagine?
Hatten wir nicht schon diverse komische Alienviecher auf diversen komischen Planeten, die man auch als First Contact sehen könnte? Ich meine, auch wenn sie nur die Intelligenz von irgendwelchen Tieren haben. Naja.
It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Super. Sie lassen mich nicht mal ihren Kaffee mitnehmen. Ist ja ein tolles Hotel hier. Sieht auch irgendwie so von der Außengestaltung ein bisschen schäbig aus, oder? Die könnten mal wegs ihre Fassade putzen. Sie kommunizieren in Piepgeräuschen. Sehr schön. Ich würde ja sagen, wir kommen in Frieden, aber das tun wir wahrscheinlich nicht.
Clearly you're not. You're obviously human, but how are you here? We didn't know any others left Earth.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
Er heißt halt wirklich Mabuti. Mabuti, ich kriege zu viel.
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago.
Ich bin nicht hier, um zu helfen, deswegen will ich diese Option nicht nehmen.
I see. Well, perhaps we killed two birds with one stone. You see, we're also in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others.
Ja, was für ein Luxus, dass sie trotzdem das gleiche Undock-System haben, hä?
We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans.
Sieht man das nicht? Die haben schließlich Fenster.
Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Never
So,
seen a ship
he
like
gathered
yours
the best
before.
and brightest
Then
he could
again, I haven't
find,
seen any
built the
ship like
Constant,
yours.
and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Spannend, spannend.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
So, here we are. Let's talk. We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it.
Sie wollen unbedingt, dass man allen hilft, überhaupt ever.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
Die haben so ein nett aussehendes Raumschiff.
We were never trained to address threats coming from
Und dann ist das outdated.
The Constant is a peaceful ship.
Sie haben sogar Lautsprecher mit Vogelgeräuschen.
Just stay out of trouble.
Hey,
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do.
Wir sind doch alle hier Schrotflintenfreunde. Was habt ihr denn?
Hey there.
Fantastisch. Genauso fantastisch.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting.
Das ist doch auch wieder so ein Fall von, es ist von innen größer, als es von außen aussieht. Es hat auch eine größere Hitbox, als es von außen aussieht.
Hello, and welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, a question. Usually when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route, showing me the beauty of this world. But this time, our entries seem to take longer, and we pass by a lot more open water.
Ich muss mich schon sehr beherrschen, nicht die Schrotflinte zu benutzen.
Hello.
Party.
Yes.
Genau. Die lassen hier einfach einen in einem Piratenoutfit durchmarschieren, als ob's nichts wäre. Ich kann jetzt direkt zum Chef gehen und ihn erschießen.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment?
Oh, ich wurde aufgehalten. Wer hätte das gedacht?
I really don't, and I can't have you barging in on the executives while they're working. So if you need something, you can talk to me. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board?
Ja, eine Kugel in deinen Kopf.
Sure. Have fun in the Shark Tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Ewig diese unqualifizierten Angestellten.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet.
I need to mill about in here. I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! You'd be surprised what people fall for. Locally sourced island fruit essences, for instance. It's just the same old fruits brought over from Earth ages ago, but we get nearly 10 times the market for them. But you're right, no one's gonna buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. So, tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore of a ship, besides scaring people away? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grab drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. And that's within your right. But as the CEO of Paradiso Group, I'm the one who has to make and approve decisions around here, not you. So,
Ach, ich kann gerne seinen Posten ändern.
appreciate your feedback. It's not in the best interest of the Paradiso Group to take it into account.
Vom CEO zum Landschaftsdünger. Es geht ganz einfach.
Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it, as I've mentioned. It could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently.
Habe ich mir schon fast gedacht.
And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter is official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Right. Assuming they agree to the terms, I've got a list of resources you'll need to gather and bring back so we can support the new arrivals. We'll need to improve our lodging and infrastructure, plus account for future projects to support an increased population. Don't care how you procure them, just make sure to bring them here with you before we can consider this a done deal. Right.
Oh nein.
On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
There are millions of planets out there.
Also eine Fetch-Quest werde ich nicht machen. Das kann der vergessen. Da werde ich eher den Weltraummenschen helfen, den Laden zu übernehmen. Wenn das eine Option ist. Ich hoffe, dass es eine Option ist.
No major incidents in a while.
Die haben wenigstens ein cooles Raumschiff. Ich verstehe auch nicht, warum die nicht einfach ihr scheiß Raumschiff landen. Auf der anderen Seite des Planeten. Was ist denn so schwer daran? Dann sollen die doch hier mit ihrer mickrigen Security ankommen. Und die haben auch Schrotflinten. So, jetzt können wir uns in vielen Ladescreens wieder nach oben bewegen. Das wird auch wieder sehr spielspaßig. Es kann sich ja einer mal den Spaß machen und alle Ladescreens in diesem Video zählen.
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Now that we know what's out there, is it going to be more interesting?
There's so much more to learn about now.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for...
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life. What's the good word? Then I'd need to know what that catch is before I could form an opinion. That doesn't sound so bad. My crew will need to get used to working for a living anyway. This seems agreeable. Is that all?
Oh, ich kann die überzeugen.
I'm not sure what we can spare.
Tja.
I'm thinking. Perhaps there are resources in storage we can scrounge up or recycle. I'm not an unreasonable person, you know. Tell you what, talk to Daisuke, and he'll get you what we can spare. If you succeed, we'll see about finding some other ways to repay you as well. Thank you.
Fetch Quest erfolgreich abgewendet.
Safe travels to you.
Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Na, hier waren wir ja eben schon. Ich kann nicht auf deren Computer zugreifen.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before.
Just stay out of trouble.
Wie finden wir denn jetzt diesen Menschen, den wir finden sollen? Wo ist der denn bitte? Sind mir da Scheiben im Weg oder warum kann ich hier nicht springen? Das ist doch schon wieder schlecht. Warum auch einfach da runterspringen können, wenn man auch ein Ladescreen mit einem Aufzug haben kann?
Hi there. Oh.
Er ist verstummt.
I know. I'm fine. It's just that we've never really had visitors, right? Up until recently, we didn't even believe it was possible. I'll bet you do. But that makes sense, right? Presumably you're out there traveling the universe in your little ship. But for us, everyone we knew and ever would know is on this ship. This is a new experience for us. I imagine that's hard for you to understand. Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I just didn't expect our visitor from the outside to stop by and chat with me. I figured, if anything, you'd be with the captain. I'm Dice K, the ship's provisions manager. I'm not sure what I can offer you, but if I can help, I will. And if not, I'm happy just to talk.
Ich möchte gerne den Smalltalk skippen können. Also im Sinne von eine Dialogoption haben, um ihm gleich zu sagen, weil ich will und fertig.
Oh yeah, she sent me a message. I have everything for you right here. It's all we can spare, so I sure hope you come through for us. Need anything else?
Jetzt sag nicht, dass ich den anderen Krempel trotzdem noch machen muss. Da fehlen ja immer noch 50 Eisen.
See you around.
Ja, so viel zum Thema Fetch Quest abgewendet, ne? Damit gehen wir wohl jetzt zu Plan B über. Wie wir belasten den Verein da unten und beschleunigen den Abschluss der Mission auf gewisse Art und Weise. Oben durfte ich Sachen mitnehmen und hier unten darf ich es wieder nicht. Okay. Wenigstens hier darf ich runterspringen.
Careful waving that fancy gun.
Glad to be a part of the team.
Kann ich eigentlich auch ohne abzudocken eine Schnellreise machen? Ich weiß es nicht. Ja, es tut mir jetzt schon sehr leid für den CEO, aber das ist der Erste, der sterben wird. Der kriegt die Minigun. Wie leicht sich auch diese Leute von dem Raumschiff zu Zwangsarbeit verpflichten ließen, ne? Das ist schon sehr besorgniserregend.
Every day's nice around here.
Ja, Chef.
It's gonna take some work to make room for our new colonist guests.
It's because of me.
Go on now.
Keine neuen Dialogoptionen. Oh nein! Er ist unkillbar. Warum ist er denn unkillbar? Sie haben doch extra so ein Setting gewählt, das am Arsch der Welt ist und nichts mit den anderen Gruppen zu tun hat. Warum ist er dann unkillbar? Warum sollte man ihn unkillbar machen? Mein Gott, ist das schlecht. Warum? Die arme Sicherheitskraft ist killbar. Warum ist er unkillbar? Ja. Ja, es ist erst sein Problem, wenn es ihn persönlich betrifft, ne? Sich daneben stellen und zugucken ist ja okay.
What are you doing?
You're making things harder for yourself.
Someone
Schande über die verantwortlichen Bethesda Mitarbeiter. Er steht einfach wieder auf. Jetzt geht mir noch die Munition aus. Ich nahm ihm sein Leben und seine Milch. Wollen wir noch ein paar Gäste umbringen, ne? Auf jeden Fall. Ein Schlüssel ist erforderlich. Es ist ja so sinnfrei. Tja, werden wir da auch nicht reinkommen, ne?
Can't wait for my shift to be over.
Das Hotel hat geschlossen. Haben wir denn hier noch? Noch ein Scharfschützengewehr mit wenig Munition. Hierfür haben wir noch ein bisschen was. Mein Gott, das macht ja echt keinen Schaden. Aber für den Gast wird's reichen, oder? Es ist ein Level 1er, der in Badehose rumrennt. Und ich brauche trotzdem noch mehrere Treffer, um ihn zu töten. Wo ist er denn? Ist er durch die Wand gelaufen? Es geht euch überhaupt nichts an, ne? Ganz und gar nichts geht euch das hier an. Oh, der Roboter hat Bock. Zu schade, dass ich nicht genug Minigun-Munition habe. Wo ist jetzt der scheiß Roboter hin? Dafür habe ich immer noch nichts gesammelt. Ja, und ich habe mir gedacht, ich zeige euch heute was Nices und was kommt am Ende dabei wieder raus? Fehlender Player Freedom. Das ist doch super. Hallo, ihr werdet angegriffen. Es wird Zeit, die Noob-Bikes zu bemannen. Er ist halt auch noch legendär, ne? Ah, da ist der Roboter. Spaß, Spaß, Spaß. Habe ich mir schon fast gedacht, dass der auch ein essentieller ist. Habe ich noch Munition? Für irgendwas? Ja, ganze 2 Shots mit der Schrotflinte habe ich noch. So, ich denke, wir haben ihr tolles Hotel so gut ausgedünnt, wie es möglich ist. Ich hoffe, diese Demonstration an Player Freedom hat euch gefallen. Bis zum nächsten Mal.